Don't worry about all that is plain. Let me now tell you the details of what I see. Because it is important that you understand the details of the spiritual. The details of the spiritual is that if the person you thought would have become the president, the country would be on fire by now. Chimanye eberomamo. Chimanye eberomao yo yo. Chimanye eberomao. Omene bene chimanye eberomao esemo. Now listen. Because there's time to tell the truth. And there's time to make things clear. There's time to make noise. And there's time to go straight to the point. When you go straight to the point, the layman can understand and follow the things of the Spirit. So wherever you are, pay attention to this prophecy and hear the conclusion of the matter. There's a reason why Peter Obi could not become the president. There's a reason. But I don't want people to now begin to crucify the major prophet of God and begin to say, oh, major prophet of God, what are you saying? Have you been sold out? Are you sold out? What happened? What's going on? I don't want that to be. I want you to understand. The understanding of a common man or human is not the same with the understanding of God. God's understanding is quite different from human understanding. Nigeria as a country has gotten to a point that now God wants to mathematically and spiritually and the high wisdom to repair things and make the people of this country to now get what they are looking for without any fracas or killing and destroying. Now, if our dear beloved Peter Obi had become the president, for example, maybe during the election and they said that Peter Obi is the winner and he wins and finally they swore him in, by now the whole country would have been on fire. Some people will say, oh, major prophet, crucify him. Don't crucify me. I am not among the people. The reason why Peter Obi could not be the president or win the election, I'm explaining it to you now so that you will know what's called the prophetic digestion and what's called the supernatural expository in the realm of the spirit, because I am not a prophet that wants to speak flesh. I am a prophet that is ready to go spiritual and detail what would have happened, because Peter Obi would have entered into the seat as a president, and the moment he's declared as a president, there will be an instant overtake and coup. And the moment there's instant overtake and coup, it will resort to war. And resorting to war would have put this country on fire by now. Ask me why would that have happened? Why? Ask me why. So I will explain to you what I am saying in the spiritual world that you are not seeing, because the eye of man is not the same thing with the eye of God, because the eye of God is the eye that can see tomorrow and tell you what is contained in the tomorrow. Listen to prophecy. I am not here to now begin to say the mind of man. I am here to speak according to the Spirit of God, begin to inspire the major prophet of God and telling me what to say and what to say. And when God is the one telling me what to say, I will say them and they are accurately the way I say them. When I told you last year that they were going to change Naira, I said Naira note is going to be changed. Watch out and see. You watched out and you see in a few weeks later, Nigerian government declare they want to change Naira. And before then I told you, I said, watch out, to withdraw your money will be difficult. All of you were live with me here and you were seeing them. I said, to withdraw money in the bank will be so difficult that your money in the bank will no longer be your money. I told you here and you thought it was a joke and you saw it come to pass. And I told you that the old Naira note that they are collecting from you, don't worry, if you are not able to spend your own, keep it, because they are going to go back to the old Naira note and they will bring it back to use them. Some of you said, oh, what nonsense. Where have you seen that they collected old Naira and they are bringing, and you went and burnt your money? I told you, keep your money, that they are coming back to bring the money back to use. You thought it was a joke. You saw it come to pass. You saw the election, you saw everything. As I told you, all of them come to pass. Now watch out. The reason why Peter Obi was not made the president is very clear. Number one, it would have put the country on fire by now. Why? Because the people will never be patient with him. They will never ever be patient with him. You that is watching me will be patient with him. I, major prophet of God, will be patient with him. But the people will never be patient with him. It will have what's called a high volume of opposition that would have blasted the country. Everybody by now is in Cotonou, is in Togo, is in Lomé, is there in Ghana, is there in Cameroon, is there in other countries. You would have fled the country by now. But God, who is the all-knowing, allowed what played out to play out because God wants to help you. God wants to help you. God wants you to remain his child. And God doesn't want us to begin to run helter-skelter. That is why God allowed what happened to happen. Now, fast forward to the election time. Don't forget that when I came on board here, I told you all that was going to play out. I told you all was going to play it out. I told you, I said, the election that is coming, look at the position of everybody. You will not say that you didn't hear it. If you didn't hear it, go back to December 31st night and go and open our channel. You will see the prophecy there. So now listen. Everybody that is dancing now or celebrating, oh, yeah, the judgment have been passed, that, should pray. Nigeria should pray. This is the time for everybody to wake up. People that need to support the president should support him. People that need to stand firm should stand firm because democracy truncated. Marakato Brahadi Koso. Democracy truncated. Remember the 5 men I told you about when I enter in the kingdom of the spiritual. Don't forget about the 5 men I told you about. If you're among the people who don't pay attention to listen to major prophet of God, start to pay attention today. Don't joke with me. Don't play with what God is doing here. Man, no human being can take this by himself. You give a prophecy since 2014. You have never given a prophecy that failed. You will not only give Africa, you give Nigeria, you give the whole world, you give village, you give governorship, you give presidential, you give everything, you give in the congregation, you give everywhere. Is this by human power? Is it the sense? Am I saying them because of my head? I'm saying that because the most educated man? No. The reason is because God doesn't want his people to be in darkness. God wants you people to be aware of the unfolding before they begin to unfold. And so when I tell you something, when I begin to prophesy and begin to tell you what is written in the realm of the spirit, don't doubt me because I am saying it very, very clear. Remember I told you, I said this is what's going to happen. Then watch out. Tomorrow, there are 3 kinds of captions that will be on the newspaper. Right now, today is not tomorrow. Today today is today. But tomorrow that is coming, that you will see 7th tomorrow, I want to tell you the captions that will be on the newspaper. Because in the spiritual world, everything that happens in the physical world has to first of all happen in the spiritual world. And this is why people of God who are spiritual are mindful of the things of the spirit. Don't joke with the things of the spirit. If you have not grown yourself to be acquainted with the things of the spirit, please, you are a believer, you are a child of God, you are a man or woman or whatever. Walk yourself to be able to acquaint with the spiritual world so that you can be able to be among the people who can be in the spiritual world to see what is going to happen in the physical world. Tomorrow you are going to hear what's called press conference of all your presidential candidates. Dakorski Pradagato. You are going to hear all the what's called press statement of your presidential candidate. And the one of the prophecy I give you last week is going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow you will hear and people will say, I am fed up. I am fed up with everything. I'm just fed up. And then, well, let it be. Let the whole matter go. In fact, I'm fed up. And then some people will pick up their international passport and clean the back, clean the front like this, and enter plane and jet out of this country to go to other countries to stay. They will stay that country. They will not come back here until 3 years when they will come back for campaign. Write what I am saying. Take your book, take your Bible and your paper and write it. Write it down. down so that you are among the people who will tell others that you were there live. So remember, few weeks ago, like last 2 months after a month of April, when I was telling you, I said this issue of thrust out, I told you that's what's going to happen, because the interpretation of the things in the physical are not the way you are looking at them. You can see a man walking on the road, but if God should open your eyes, you will see that that man you think is walking on the road is actually crawling. That's how the spiritual world is. And so I want you to know how the spiritual world is. It's better I teach you about the spiritual world so that as a man or a woman or a believer or a Christian, you can help yourself to be spiritual enough to understand the spiritual world and how the things of the spirit, how they work, so you can be able to acquaint yourself with the things of the spirit and walk as a spiritual being on the face of the earth. Who told you that you cannot be superhuman on the earth? Who told you you cannot be powerful? Who told you you cannot see? Who told you cannot know tomorrow? Who told you there's nothing impossible, anything impossible? Who told you? Nobody. All the people telling you every story they're telling you, they are only trying to confuse you. But if you follow my type of person and you are among the people who believe in the prophetic, who believe that there's a God, then you will not be among the people to say, I don't want to connect. Connect with the major prophet of God. If you don't have my contact, the phone number is always here, and that is +234 8034225866. That is the phone number. You can chat me on Facebook here, on WhatsApp there. You can also send a text message. If you call, I don't pick, please don't hesitate. Keep quiet. After call major prophet of God, I will surely respond to you. Now, the spiritual is what now prophet. So wherever you are, share this broadcast immediately. Tell the people that the major prophet of God is here to speak on Possibility TV. Are you watching on Facebook? Facebook is Prophet Dr. David Kinglo Elijah. Are you watching on YouTube? This is Possibility TV or Prophet Dr. David Kinglo Elijah. Or you're watching on our television. Wherever you're watching, this is the most accurate prophet on the face of the universe today. Because who is a prophet? This is a question. Who is a prophet? A prophet is the man who can tell us what God is saying today, and we watch out and he said, from now to so day, this is what's going to happen. And you check it out and it come to pass. He said, this one is happening. Where will I start from? Where will I start from? Should I go back to 2014 when I began to give prophecy here? When I told you about African man to become the president of America, and I told you the African man will come from all the way from Kenya, and you thought it was a joke. Go to social media and see all of them. And you thought it was a joke, and it came to pass, and the man that became the president of America was a black America, Obama. And you move on from there. You move on to when Clinton, the wife, came to contest. And I told you she's not going to go anywhere. I told you about how Donald Trump is going to win, and it came to pass. And after that, I told you that Donald Trump contesting again, that I see where Donald Trump is going to be removed, and another person is going to take over. And I told you everything. I told you all this prophecy. You see all of them coming to pass. Is a proof that God is not a man. God is a spirit. The earlier you know that God is a spirit, the better for you. The earlier you understand that God does not need human. All he needs is who will believe. And whosoever believe, God is right to demonstrate himself and show himself to the person. So this evening, wherever you are, get yourself ready. The major prophet of God, I am ready to now prophesy. Mali bradigado, ribradakatos kembrakatapata, rikata brakatom brokotopotoko, tigrateko sunkarabataka, malakuprotoje de koprandika, malikotos ketebrakata. Anybody that is weak, anybody that's worried, anybody that's troubled, trouble no more, weak no more, worry no more. Don't worry about all that is plain. Let me now tell you the details of what I see, because it is important that you understand the details of the spiritual. The details of the spiritual is that if the person you thought would have become the president, the country would be on fire by now. Chimanye Peromamo. Chimanye Peroma, oh yo yo. Chimonye eberoma o. O mere bere chimonye eberoma o ezemo.